Twitter streamer stuff now. Oh, about the debate about streaming versus normal job. It's so weird how that's become like a debate. I'll say it for the people in the back. I've said it since day one when I started streaming, and even back when I was streaming on Justin TV in 2010. Streaming is by far the easiest job you can ever have. Like, I think anyone in the industry will tell you that. There's different levels of stream effort. Like, there's events and shit, which is very difficult to put together. So, like, Cutie Cinderella Streamer Awards, any type of big event, that stuff, that's a lot of hard work. That's a lot of moving parts and all that. But your day-to-day streamers, your day-to-day streaming activities, that shit it's so easy. And I think everyone will agree. Playing games and getting paid for it, that is an actual dream job to every human being on the planet. Or if you're not even playing games, if you're researching whatever goofy stories, a fucking VTuber hit list or VTuber criticism hit list like this or whatever, easy stuff. It's an extremely privileged position, and I think everyone knows that. To me, I think what the debate was today, and maybe I'm misunderstanding because I didn't catch up with everyone's take on it, seems more about how you feel after streaming. Like, you stream 9 hours a day, whatever, 6 to 9 hours a day, and then you don't want to do anything after, and that sucks. And I think that's a fine take to have. I mean, it's a long time to sit just talking at people, so I can get being exhausted by the end of it. I think that the conversation got lost somewhere along the way, because I get that. You're talking all day at people, probably just want to call it a night. Like, that makes sense. No different than working a normal job where you have to interact with like fucking customers or something all day, which is significantly more miserable. In a stream, you can ignore assholes. In a real job, you can't. You have to interact with them. So I think that aspect is much worse in a real job than streaming as well. But I mean, again, I get if you're streaming for a long time, you're probably not going to want to do a whole lot afterwards. You might just want to call it a night. Like, I think that's pretty understandable. Like, you can't, yeah, exactly. You can't ban a bad customer. You got to talk to them. That fucking sucks. Streaming, you have the privilege not to. But I think anyone, any streamer in the world would agree that it is significantly easier than working a real job. I think the nuance kind of went off the main path, and the conversation got really diluted. Because it seemed more about like, I stream this long, I'm not feeling like socializing anymore, and it's making me a little miserable. Because I get that. Same as working a real job. You fucking interact with assholes all day or whatever. It's a long day at work. You probably don't want to socialize. You might want to just kick back and go to bed. I think that's fair. That's fine. I don't think it's a matter of what's harder. Because I don't think that'll ever be a competition. Oh yeah, I love Helldivers too. I think it's great. Yeah, but working a real job, you don't get death threats all the time like Hassan does. Yeah, you do. That happens in the real world too, and it's much scarier because the people are face to face and unhinged. But again, like I said, I get interacting with assholes and whatever, like it takes its toll and you don't want to do anything after, I get it. But it's not like it's still exclusive to streaming, and again, you can ignore it. It's not like you are forced to interact with each and every unhinged person in your chat. In a real job, you have to. It is your fucking job. Like, it sucks. The aspect of that happening on stream sucks, and it happening in the real world also sucks. Like, it doesn't need to be a competition, because it's not one. It is much easier to just stream. You have significantly more luxuries for it, and you're paid much, much, much better for doing what 99% of the world does for fun. You get to do as a career. So there are some things that make it not cool, but those do not outweigh what makes it incredible. Thanks for resub, Miles. I've said from day one, streaming is the easiest job you can have. But I don't think that's what the conversation was today. I think everything just got real convoluted. We had a dude come into Kroger's once and made bomb threats and found out it was a dude that lived in my apartment complex. That must have been so uncomfortable when you went home after he comes back from fucking holding. He's like, hey man, sorry about the bomb threats. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, use of acid. He's a tier 1 happy. I don't think that was Hassan's point at all. From what I didn't watch everyone's take on it. I just watched like the clip that started it, like the whole clip. To me, his take really felt like I stream so long and I don't want to socialize anymore, and it makes me feel worse than when like a real or like a normal job. But not saying that streaming is harder, just more so he doesn't like feeling drained after it. Which is fine. It's not really, like I said, it's not a competition. I think him and everyone else on Twitch would agree streaming is easier than 99% of real world jobs. His point, I think, was just what I said, where you stream 9 hours talking at people, you probably don't want to do much else after that. And it eats up, like, your whole day. Just like in the real world, where you work 9 hours interacting with people, a lot of shitty people you don't want to interact with but have to because it's your job. In the real world, you can't ignore it like you can on stream. And you feel like shit after and you don't want to do anything. Like, it doesn't... The impression I got, and maybe I'm off my rocker, was not that he was trying to necessarily compare one being more difficult than the other, just that he's feeling bad because he doesn't like how he feels after a stream. I think he's a membership Alaskan. Will you plug your playlist? I have a link for it somewhere in the stream. I just don't remember what the command is. It's Prime Birdman. Post-stream clarity. R.I.P. I own a bakery and meal prep company. When I'm out of the kitchen, I'm hitting the bed 5 to 6 days a week. That does sound about right. Hope it's going well. I think it's a membership mother. No, yeah, there's a lot of streamers that'll focus on like negative chatters. I think Hassan's probably like the prime example of that. He fixates on like each mean comment. So I imagine his view on it is, damn, this is making me feel so much worse than if I had to interact with customers. But again, I don't think it's even close. It is much easier to ignore it on stream and you wouldn't have to deal with it versus in the real world where you can't because it's your job. You have to interact with them. It's just one of those things where a streamer needs to ignore comments more often. Which I get, it's tough sometimes. I mean, I also respond to some mean comments. That's human nature. You can get 1,000 nice things being said at you and it goes in one ear, out the other, but you see one mean thing and it just sticks with you for the whole fucking stream. Thanks, membership, Dustin.